Good. So finding a comfortable seat for yourself. I'm just propping my hips and my spine up on a bolster here, and then I can relax my knees down in front. And you can take our little mudra here, which is really going to focus around the dantian area. So we're kind of cupping the hara, and the hara in Qigong or traditional Chinese philosophies is the sea of qi. This is where our true core center lies. So we're just holding our hands here like a little sphere of energy, a small little cosmos in between the palms of our hands. And you can almost start to feel the energy rising up into this whole area of the Manipura, the solar plexus, but also between your fingers, between your palms. Relax the shoulders, let the shoulders become heavy, relax into the face. You can choose to close the eyes or take a soft gaze. And notice how you're sitting. Notice if you are feeling tight or tense, or you feel comfortable or relaxed. And find a steady breath, breathing in and out of the nostrils, and direct the breath down to your hands, down to the abdomen area, the dantian. So the belly inflates with your inhale, and the belly deflates with your exhale. And this area resides in the energetic pit of your belly, the Manipura, the solar plexus, the hara, the dantian. And the color is a bright, vibrant yellow. So begin to imagine a yellow flower deep in the navel. Visualize this bright yellow flower, maybe a daffodil, maybe a sunflower. And soften the belly. Soften here. No need to keep holding or tensing or contracting. No need to keep striving to hold the belly in place. Let it relax. And feel the layers of tension just dissolve away. As you let your breath softly fan the heat within to keep the embers of your life gently burning. As you breathe deeply into your powerhouse, feel any struggles just drop away. Breathe to release any overproducing. Breathe to release keeping up, competing. And breathe beyond the skin, the bones, and the identity that you give yourself. And relax into your completeness and your inner strength. Nice and gently, take the hands away from one another, separating and taking them to the knees. Palms are gently facing up. You're relaxing into the fingers, relaxing into the palms and the wrists. You almost feel the heat that you've created just sitting there in the palms of your hands. So if you like, you can change position and you can change the cross of your legs, or you can come to a kneel. And again, I'm going to kneel over my bolster. So if you've got cushions, we're going to take our humming bee breath. Humming bee breath is where we just gently put the index fingers on our ears and we block out all sound and we literally breathe out and hum. So as we breathe in through the nose, we breathe out through the nose, and it's a nice long hum. So breathing in, closing off the ears. Breathing in and humming on your exhale. Continue with that humming bee breath. And taking your last humming bee breath, relaxing the hands down and just noticing the sound coming back in after you've taken the hands away from the ears. Let's come into our first posture, which is dangling pose. So I'm going to give you a couple of options for dangling. You can, of course, use your bolster to dangle with. It's a gentle forward fold. So if you have your bolster, you might just like to rest the head on top of the bolster and let the hands fall down. Or you can simply take the feet a little bit wide and then take a nice deep bend into the knees. Just give yourself a little sway. And you can take hold of the elbows, relaxing the head down and coming into that full fold. So we are here for a couple of minutes. If you feel that it's too long, take your time to bring the head up in line with the heart. Or you can just simply come back down to the knees and take a child's pose. Finding a relaxing breath. Give in to gravity as you let the body release downwards. Maybe for the last few breaths, you start to lengthen up through the back of the knees. Don't overstretch, over pop. Keep the weight into the front part of the feet without gripping the toes. And release the hands down and just gently lift the gaze, bend the knees and widen the feet out into your squat position, malasana. So heels are facing towards the front of the mat, toes are facing out. Give yourself a little wiggle room, and you can always, again, sit on a block. Blocks are really handy here. Try to have both heels down if you can, so widening the feet out to the outer edges of your mat. That's it. Perfect, Dad. Yeah, lovely. Elbows come on the inside. If you don't drop down as deep as I have, that's okay. You can stay here. This is still a squat. So work towards your squat. Close the eyes. Again, give in to gravity. Try to keep the spine nice and long. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Feel energized here as you draw the navel in. Strong in the posture. If at any point it becomes a little bit too challenging, too strenuous, you can always come out. But always working towards your edge as you find the stillness. Doing great. Breathe and relax into it. Just a few more breaths here. You are doing great. Try not to relax too much in the posture. Make sure those shoulders are dropping away from the ears and you are lengthening the spine, reaching the sit bones towards the mat. And gently release the hands. Start to lift the sit bones, lifting the hips, and just turn the toes inwards and just sway out. Move the legs, move the hips. Good. Let us sit down at the back of the mat and let our legs go out in front of you for caterpillar. So you can, of course, sit on a block. You can sit on a blanket or a cushion. And you can bend the knees underneath with a bolster underneath if you like. So free up the flesh underneath you, relax into the feet, relax into the legs, and think about lifting up and over as we come into the fold. So you're giving the belly a lot more freedom. You're not just simply folding from the waist. You're lifting up and hinging from the hips. So the hands might rest on the ankles, the shins, or they might come down onto the mat. Legs might be together, might be just a little bit apart. Try to soften through the neck and the spine. And making sure that you're comfortable as you relax into this. So a lot of the postures today are going to work on digestion and also improving energy. So breathe now into any of the areas that feel tight or tense. Maybe it's the back of the legs, maybe it's into the spine. And with each breath, you feel yourself going deeper inwards as well as deeper into the fold. And when we come into these postures, it's a time to observe ourselves, our body, the messages that our anatomy gives to our brain. It sends us warning signals when we're put at risk or it feels painful or unsafe. So it's always important to listen to those voices, listen to those messages that come to you. And your breath is a brilliant guide. To stay present, be in the moment. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out, preparing to move. Take your time to come out. Start to walk the hands back. Oh, hello. Oh. Didn't even see him there. And just roll back into seated. And the shoulders just rest above the shoulders. Notice how the spine responds as you come out of that fold. And just sitting upright. And just bend the knees up. Take the feet a little bit wider. Sit nice and tall, and then you can release the hands behind you and drop the knees over to one side and the other, just windscreen wiping those knees and the hips. So let's come into a side seal. So you can, of course, use a bolster with this one as well, or a pillow or a cushion. It might go simply underneath the rib cage. So this is your side seal. However, you can take the more challenging option, of course, and you can not use the bolster. You can choose to stay onto the forearms with the knees bent. You might wish to straighten the legs and come up with a straight arm. So just notice where that might pinch. I'm actually going to take a straight arm but bent knees. So find what works, but what we don't want to do is collapse into this shoulder. You see what I've done? I've just sank in. It's a bit lazy. I want to push away. So I want to keep that rib cage nice and open space here. So think this is collapsing, this is pushing away. So find a place that works. Now, gently draw in the navel here. Good. So the belly is engaged just a little bit. Keep pushing through the palm or the forearm there. You've got either the palm down or you can go for the lower option. That's it. Keep lifting, keeping this rib cage. That's it. Yeah, you've got it, Sarah. Good. And you're breathing into this side body. And you might feel it in the other side as well. I do. If you feel the shoulder and the chest dropping like that, press, press, press away. Good. Breathing. It's not one that we do very, very often at all. And nice and slowly, we're going to roll onto the belly. So wherever you're facing, simply come down and relax everything. Relax the belly, relax all the sides of the body. Head comes to the back of the hands as you just sway out into the hips. So let's come into seal before we go to the other side seal. So the hands come out in front of you, again trying to get to straight arms. They might be out all the way here and just the chest is lifting, that's okay. But come up as high as is comfortable for the back. So dropping hips, dropping pubic bone, drawing in navel. Feet might be a little bit wider. I definitely have to take my feet a little bit wider because of the compression into my injury of the lower back, but more challenge is when the feet come together. We're only here for 1 minute, so find the breaths. Good. Trying to get straight arms and pushing through the palms. You can stay as low as you like. Snot Sphinx. And slowly lower down, roll down belly, rib cage, chest, head comes to the back of the hands, big toes touch, and relax out, sway out through the hips. Let's come to the opposite side for seal. So again, choosing the same option that you did on the other side. You can start with forearm, knees bent, but keep that rib cage nice and lifted. Lift yourself up a little bit, Dad. up onto your forearm if you can. Or you could choose straight arm option, straight legs. That's the most challenging. That's it, Dad. Stay on your forearm there. Lovely. With bent knees. Good. So again, lifting into this rib cage, not collapsing it down. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Good. Again, noticing where you feel the stretch. I feel it into this back part here. You might feel it somewhere different. Navel draws in slightly. No trouble. Hello. Be nice. Hello, be nice. No. Breathing into the side body. Feel the rib cage expanding. And nice and gently just slide down onto your belly once more. Bring the head to the back of the hands, big toes touch. Heels fall out and relax everything. Take a moment to just pause. Let's come into Sphinx here. So the arms come out in front of you. Elbows may be underneath the shoulders, or they may be a little bit further forward. Fingertips reaching forward, and again, widening the feet if you need to release into the lower back. Keep the chest nice and open, and just looking forward to the front of your mat. If your fingertips are on the tip of your mat, so should your gaze be, or your inner gaze of closing the eyes and drawing into inner focus. So again, relax the hips. Let the hips become heavy. Pubic bone presses down, lifting up gently through the abdominals, the solar plexus, through that dantian area. Take the focus downwards towards the navel. Keep pushing through the palms and forearms, keeping the upper body lifted, lower body dropping, relaxing. And nice and slowly, widen the elbows as you roll down. Take the hands underneath the belly now and just hold the hands into the belly. Forehead or the ear can come down, and just feel if you can actually feel a pulsing into the abdomen here. If you don't feel it, just move the hands a little higher up towards the diaphragm. And just feel that pulsing, and release the hands. Press back through your tabletop. Round through cat. Draw the navel up towards the spine in that cat. Pressing away through the palms, rounding the shoulders. Good. And then drop the belly. Arch the spine into your cow. Again, draw navel Up towards the lower spine, really pull it in. And relax the belly, arch the spine into cow. And let's pull back to sit in kneeling. So let us find our square pose or double pigeon or fire log. It's a challenge. So you can use blocks here. You can sit on a block, or you might use a block underneath one of the legs. You can go one-legged or both legs. So taking the right leg across the left. Now, this is where I might need a block, is to place that block underneath that knee so that that knee can then rest on that block. If both legs are too much, extend the underneath leg and just simply work with one leg across. And what you're hoping to do is to try to get the ankle resting on the fleshy part of the thigh. So leg goes on top of the thigh and the other leg is extended. So extend the underneath leg, that's it, and you rest the top there. That's your single leg option. If you're trying for the double, we're trying to stack one on top of the other. Oh, that feels better already, even just from my single leg. I've already dropped about 4 inches. So sit nice and tall, relax. Let's come into this one. You can add a little bit of weight with the arm on top of the knee. It's one of my least favorite postures. Probably that I need to do it more. Breathing and relaxing. Settling into the pose and allowing that top leg to become heavier. To come out of the posture, we're going to go into deer pose. So the top leg wraps behind you. So deer pose, we've got this little kind of rectangular square in the front there. That's it. And then we twist towards our front leg. And again, you can use bolsters. If you've got a bolster handy, pulling that in front of you and really wrapping the belly over the thigh so that you can get a twist in and a relaxation into the underneath glute and outer hip. Good. And you might not need the bolster, that's okay. You just simply lower yourself down onto the mat. Letting the weight drop away into the mat. Relaxing into any of the tight muscles, connective tissue, and tight joints. And the thing is, when we start to work with the Manipura chakra, is that some of the postures may become challenging. That's where we find our inner strength, the ability to sit and stay and hold in challenge. There's a difference between challenge and pain. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, preparing yourself to lift up. Hands come back underneath the shoulders. You press up. Give yourself that little twist movement. So you're going to push yourself a little bit more so that back hip flexor stretches. Good. That's lovely. And then bring yourself back and let's change sides. So the left leg then comes on top for your fire log or square pose. And if you're choosing the option with that left leg across, so the extended leg is underneath and then the top leg is on top, you might just simply go to the double pigeon variation already. Good, that's it. Yeah, lovely. So again, finding an option that works for you, that you are comfortable to sit and stay. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Not my favorite side either. Soften in. Find the breath. Maybe add the hand or the arm just as an extra little bit of weight there. Drops that knee down. Well done. Making sure that these feet are engaged. You've got natural flexion into the ankle. Sole of the foot is pushing away. It's not sickling. Dropping into the earth, feeling the buttocks relaxing, getting heavier. Coming out of the pose, start to lift the top leg and you gently place it back behind you. So open up the feet away from the knees and you've got this nice little square in front of you. Taking the bolster and just relaxing over front thigh. Get the belly free of the thigh. Come down into the twist for deer. Give into the weight. Really surrender into the posture. It is a slight variation to pigeon or swan. Again, working with twists and rotations through the spine. Help with improving energy and digestion. Taking a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Prepare to move. Start to walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, back towards the thigh, lifting yourself up, and then just lift into the twist. So pushing that back hip flexor forward. You're going to stretch the quadricep, hip flexor and psoas there, twisting towards the back. And bring yourself around. Good. So having your bolster by the side of you, or a cushion, or a thick pillow. We're going to come down onto our backs. So gently roll down, drawing the knees in towards the chest, and feel the thighs compressing into the abdomen here. So this is knees to chest. You're lengthening out the spine underneath you, drawing down the tailbone. Neck is nice and long. There's no ponytails like stopping your head from, being relaxed. Relax the shoulders and keep pulling those knees in towards the chest. Hold for a few more breaths. Notice the breath has changed because we're compressing into the abdomen and the diaphragm. Try and still breathe as deeply as you did before. Pull the knees in a little closer. Lengthen tailbone down even more. Spine is flat. And nice and slowly release the hands. Take the knees wide. Drop the knees together. Sorry, take the feet wide and drop the knees together. Constructive rest. Take a moment now to breathe a little deeper into the belly without compression. And let's come into a reclined twist. So this is where you might like to have the bolster. So we'll roll over onto our left hip first of all. And if you're not using a bolster, then you simply just relax that leg down and the right leg comes on top of your bolster. You start to open up the chest into your reclined twist. The left underneath leg might be bent. It might be straight. But nothing is active or contracting or engaging into muscles. So take the breath and take your focus into the whole of the abdominal area, the whole of the digestive system, and almost visualize the inside of your body here in this twist, in this rotation. The intestines, the stomach, the bladder, the gallbladder, the kidneys, the liver, the spleen. And nourish them with your breath. So breathe deeper. And feel that you are feeding the organs with oxygen, prana, and blood. Taking a deep breath in and a deep, slow, long breath out as you begin to move. So rolling yourself back onto the mat, both buttocks connect and extend that right leg along the mat. Now inflate the belly as much as is comfortable. Breathe out, relax the belly. So breathe in, inflate the belly. Breathe out, relax the belly. Last time, breathe in, inflate. Basically, the diaphragm pushes down as the lungs fill, and then the diaphragm relaxes, coming back underneath the rib cage as the belly empties and the lungs empty. Let's go to the other side for your twist. So swapping over your bolster, making sure that that left leg is fully supported from knee to ankle. Bottom leg, underneath leg can be straight or bent, starting to open up through the chest. Remember, we're here for 3 minutes, so we don't have to go into our furthest posture. We work our way up to that. So allowing the breath to settle, relaxing through the facial expression and taking the focus again down into the organs beneath the diaphragm. So all of the organs, large intestine, small intestine, stomach, bladder, gallbladder, kidneys, liver, spleen. And breathe deep and to nourish them. Taking that deep breath in. Deep sighing breath out as you just gently roll back. Take both legs long. This time, bring the hands onto the belly, onto the abdomen, and do the inflation into the palms of your hands. So diaphragm pushes down as the lungs fill. Belly gets as big, as expansive as it can. And the exhale softens and relaxes it down. Do that twice more. nourishing all of that whole area that we're focusing on, front, back, and sides of the trunk. The area of inner strength, your courage. And gently relax that breath, relax the hands out to the side, gently draw the knees in. And just roll and massage out from side to side. You might like to open up the knees a little bit and work into the hips. And this one is either snail or plow. And you can, of course, use a bolster with it. I'll show you the variations. So using a bolster for snail, the bolster comes all the way under, as close to the shoulders as possible, and then lifting the knees up, again bringing that bolster with you, and the knees just drop down towards the ears. So this is your snail variation. Your plow variation is with the legs straight, and if you don't use the bolster, then you're just simply coming into snail and plow without a prop. So choose your option there. If you're coming without the prop, you're supporting the spine with the hands and then releasing the legs back behind you into plow. The toes might then rest on a bolster. They might rest on your sofa or a chair. The knees might rest on the forehead. Just take the option that really does work for you. Try to keep the head gazing up towards the sky. To try not to turn the neck when you're in this snail or plow. Notice the breath may have changed. I'm sorry if my mic's gone a bit funny. And coming out, take your time, roll back down. If you had the bolster there, you're going to have to take the feet down and then slide the bolster away. Coming all the way back down into constructive rest, make sure that you realign spine, hips, shoulders, head, neck. Drop the knees together, take the hands onto the abdomen. Relax the feet and ankles. Heel toe the feet into parallel, draw the knees in, and just circle and massage out through the spine once more. Open the knees out, circle a little bit into the hips, releasing there. Let's take our shoelace pose. So right leg crosses over the left. Again, you can use a strap. So the strap goes over the shins and you pull the knees towards you. Or you take hold of the calves or the feet, whatever you can get hold of, and start to pull those feet away from one another and hugging the knees up towards the chest. pointing towards the chin. Thighs are squeezing together. You might feel the compression of the thighs again onto the belly, particularly right thigh on right side of the abdomen. Breathe into both sides of the torso equally. And slowly release the hands, release the legs, go back into constructive rest, drop the knees together, feet go nice and wide. Good work. Last posture, last side. So crossing left thigh over the right. Think about those knees, thighs coming in towards the chest. Reach up to take hold of the feet and then bring the shoulders and the back of the head back down. You're going to start to pull the feet apart from one another, or you have the strap linked over your shins. Relax the feet down to the buttocks if you're using the strap there. That's it. Yeah, relax the feet down. Yeah. And then again, notice the compression of the left thigh against the left side of the abdomen. Breathe in through both sides of the trunk equally. And the knees are driving towards the chin. Try to keep those knees parallel, thighs together. Notice where your target area comes. Try and relax and release tension there by guiding the breath. Almost there. Few more breaths. Release the hands. Release the feet. Take your constructive rest. And do what you need to now to prepare for Shavasana. If you need to draw the knees in once more, maybe you need to windscreen wiper, maybe you need to release into the hips just gently after that shoelace. And come into your relaxation posture of corpse pose. And you can always use the bolster underneath the knees, eye pillows, blankets, pillows underneath the head. Arms go out to the side. You spread the shoulder blades apart and the fingertips are face up towards the sky as you relax into the arms. Soften through the hips and the legs, letting the feet relax out to the sides. And take that focus once more down to the hara, the sea of energy, your area of inner strength, your powerhouse. And visualize this bright color, this vibrant yellow. Maybe just the color, maybe a flower, maybe the sun. Breathe into the color yellow. And if your mind wanders away from your shavasana, bring it back to the color yellow in the center. I'll leave you for a few moments of silence, letting you know when it's time to come back around. Beginning to take a few deeper breaths. Bringing your awareness back slowly. Take time to bring some movement back into the hands, into the feet. And just taking your time to draw the knees in, rolling and massaging out. And rolling over to your right side, pausing there for a moment. And then slowly pushing yourself up, coming back into that comfortable seat. Return to our Dantian Mudra. So creating this little cosmos between the palms of the hands, settling just at the hara, sea of energy. Take in now your energy levels. And feel that you have nourished and fed your digestive system and hopefully found some inner strength through some of those postures. I know they can be challenging, but it takes inner strength from the mind as well as the body to just sit and hold. So well done. And always thank yourself, thank your body for everything that it does for you. And I thank you. Bringing the hands into Anjali. Be grateful for your own practice today. Namaste.